Hi all, good evening everyone. Welcome to session 2 of CEED 2026 by Design Community Friends of Figma Kozhikode. I am Kartika and I will be your host for the day. Super happy to see all of you here. So for those of you joining us for the first time, let me give a just quick intro about who this community is and what we do. So FOF Kozhikode is a space built by and for designers. It is all about learning together, geeking on good design, and building communities and connections that go beyond just portfolios. Today, we have with us Muhammad Fuad, FOF Kozhikode Community Lead and Product Generalist, Product Designer at IOCode Infotech, Hafiz CP, Co-Organizer, FOF Kozhikode and Product Generalist at Make My Pass, Michelle Abubakar, Co-Organizer and UX Designer at Alpha Technologies, the three powerhouses keeping this community strong, growing, and incredibly welcoming. So, for our second session in this SEED 2026 series, we are excited to bring in someone whose journey shows how powerful clarity, curiosity, and courage can be. Today, we have with us Simran Pandit, product designer at ThoughtSpot Private Limited India. What makes Simran's story truly inspiring is how she has rebuilt her path with intention. She began in electronics and communication engineering, but the post that came with pandemic helped her reconnect with that what she always admired, design. So with that spark, she went on to crack CEED exam with an impressive All India rank of 90 and later completed her master's in design from IIT Guwahati. Her work since then has explored UI UX, research driven design, field studies in Assam, freelance projects, and everything in between. Through all of this, one belief has guided her consistently. Design can bring change. And today, she continues to contribute to that change, one thoughtful experience at a time. Please join me in welcoming Simran Pandit. Simran, we are so happy to have you here, and we can't wait to learn from your experiences and journey. The screen is all yours.
Hi everyone. Hope you're all able to hear me.
Yeah, you are audible.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kartika, for such a great introduction. That was all that I was going to say, but you did it for me. Thank you so much for that. And thanks, Friends of Figma, for giving this platform and the opportunity to actually reach out so many aspirants for Seed and everyone. So yeah, I'm like really happy and pleasure to be here today. All right. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. So I've prepared a really quick, short presentation for this whole event. So I'll just start with a another short introduction about myself. All right. So right now, currently, I'm a product designer at ThoughtSpot, and I recently, like this year, only graduated from IIT Guwahati as a master's in design student, and I prepared and gave seed in the year of 2023. So it's been 2 years now, and yep, I secured a rank of AIR 90, and that was a quite a great experience and like a shocking thing for me as well, because I was not expecting that at all. Anyways, because coming from a engineering background, it was shocking for me. So yeah, that was all about myself. Starting off with this session, which is about cracking seed in 2026. And since it's like just 45, exactly 45 days, I believe, from now, for the exam, I am hoping to help you out as much as possible from this session. And we'll be covering the last minute strategies, the common mistakes that we mostly do because we are unaware about a lot of like inline stuff, and what are some exam hall stuff that we should take care of and we can probably avoid. And at last, we'll be covering something post seed, what happens about the portfolio assignments and interviews and everything. And at last, you can shoot all your questions, whatever you have, onto me, and I'll try to help you out with that. All right. Starting up with the strategy that we all need for the next 45 days. So, as a suggestion that I would start off with is something that in the next 45 days, all you should focus on right now is just solving sample papers. I hope you must have been like figuring out the syllabus and topics and this and that, and probably there must be some who would be starting right away. But don't worry, guys, do not panic at all, because seed is not like JEE mains or JEE advanced, which needs like one full year of preparation or something like that. You can start right away and still gain and rank. So, don't worry about that you're starting right now or just 1 week back or whatever. But for the next 45 days, you have like literally have to take a pledge or something that from now, every single day, you have to solve one sample paper. Like one is literally the minimum. I would say solve a little more, because you have a lot of resources within the sample paper itself. Not only about seed, but USEED, NIFT, NID, all those like whatever design exam question paper you could get, solve all of them all together. Right. So that's one. Second up is something that even I did, because I believed, sitting for 3 hours was a bit challenging for me. And if that's something that even you resonate with, then the thing that I did was I segregated part A and part B and solved those two papers separately. I did not sit for 3 hours straight. For example, in the morning, I used to sit only for part A for 1 hour. And then in the evening, I used to go for part B for 2 hours. So, you know what? It helped me like keep my mind one thing at a one thing at a single point of time. So it worked for me, and I believe it should work for you as well. So you should definitely try that strategy where you are doing part A first, and then, or like in whatever manner you want, but do it separately. Now, coming to a different thing, which is about time management. So, there's one thing that I believe everyone must have told you, that seed is less about design and more about time management. And that's completely true. Um, for that, basically, why I'm saying that or why I'm bringing that up, because in exam that 1 hour would literally seem like half an hour for you, right? Because there's so many things that goes in and around and everything. So you know what I did again during my time was, I started off with like 1 hour practice every single day. Then after 1 week, I got back to those sample papers, the same papers, and reduced my time from 1 hour to 45 minutes. Then after 1 week, again I came back to the same papers and reduced my time to 1 45 minutes to 30 minutes. And the aim was like, with the reduced time, I'm able to gain and get the same marks that I was getting in 1 hour. So keep that aim and strategy with you, and a timer along with you whenever you're solving or practicing the paper, and always do it in that time constraint. And the day that when you are solving the paper, full paper in 30 minutes and getting like an equivalent score, I can assure you that you're going to get a like top rank for sure. So that's a strategy that you can literally follow and can help you a lot in managing your time and assessing your own um, weak points and strong points altogether. Also, guys, if you guys have any questions, like just keep it with you. Keep typing in the chat if that's open for you. We can take all those questions at last. All right, cool. So moving ahead, yeah, that was all about time and everything. Now, let's also talk about part B. That was something that I mentioned about part A. Now, for part B, um, we always run out of ideas during exam, right? That's a problem that I have heard from a lot of students, that you don't know what's going to come in exam, and you don't have the surety that what you're practicing is the only thing that you're going to get right. But what I did was that I made my own visual bank, idea bank for myself. For example, I took the strategy of not going with human anatomy, but cartoon characters for all the, like, for the first question, which is about perspective, for the last question, which is about problem identification, because human anatomy and drawing all those human figures was such a big task. And I practiced, I tried doing that, but I couldn't. So, you know, I made my own cheat sheet. So I came up with this thing that it's nowhere written that you just have to draw a human. Like you can go with cartoon characters as well. So with cartoon characters, I not only just practiced that one question that is there in the sample paper, but with that one character, I practiced different activities, different facial expressions, and everything. Right. So I made my own self bank of ideas with characters, with products, with problem identifications. Right. So it how it helped me, because in exam you're definitely not going to, I mean, I'm not saying definitely, but for sure 90% of the time not going to get a new idea. All the ideas that pop up in your head is something that you've already practiced for like 100 times during your preparation time, right? So make your preparation so strong that in exam you don't need a new idea. You can just pick up things from your idea bank and portray it in the answer sheet right away, then and there. And you know what? I was so lucky that the problem identification question was something literally similar to one of the previous years. Exactly same. It was literally. I mean, the framing was a little different. Like for example, in the previous year, they probably asked for identify 5 problems, but in my year, it came out to be identify 10 problems. But that situation and that scenario was exactly the same. So, these are the things that happen in seed. Like you can get lucky with such stuff. So always prepare for the, worst case scenario, and have all these banks with you already made during your preparation. So practice as much as you can, because that's the only thing that will help you excel this exam. The more you practice, the more ideas you'll have, the more things you'll have to show in your exam, and the less time it will take in exam for you. So yeah, guys, I mean, I'm just trying to literally sum up most and the most important and all of the stuff that I could think about, the strategies. But other than this, if you have any questions, we can definitely take up at the last. Moving ahead, that was all about the preparation strategy that you should do for in the next 45 days. The next topic that I'm going to cover is some common mistakes that we should avoid, starting with a perfectionist trap. What do I mean by that exactly? So, as designers, as artists, we always feel like, I'm talking about part B especially, that whenever we are drawing, we just want it to look perfect and everything should be very good, right? But that's not what is there. You can't spend 40 minutes in one question and just keep refining that same question. That I've seen a lot people do. And don't do that, guys. Don't. Not at all. You don't. It doesn't need to be perfect at all. All the evaluators looking for, and if you look at the exact evaluation criteria, they just want clarity. They want the idea, and they want what are they have asked for, right? So just worry about communicating your idea as clearly as possible. You don't have to use colors, you don't have to use a lot of shading techniques and this and that. No, just your basics, your ideas, and the paper that you have in your hand. That's all. So why I brought that up, because the problem that people face is they try to make their answers perfect, spend a lot of time on that, and eventually, at last, they end up having a less time to cover up for other questions that they are left with. Like they spend a lot of time in the first few questions, and the last question they either they have to leave that one because the time is up, or they just leave it incomplete or something like that. We don't want that at all. Leaving a question is literally the worst thing that can happen in exam. Always try to solve all the 5 questions. And for that, what I did, because I knew that this might happen with me as well, so I just dedicated 20 minutes to each of the questions that I have. 5 questions, right? And if we do the maths, 20 minutes for 5 questions is like 100 minutes, and I still have 20 minutes left at the end, which I can use to go back to those questions which were left and refine it and like just complete it altogether, right? I mean, this strategy actually works. Why? Because at least you are so calm at the end of your exam in the last 20 minutes that you're like, okay, I have time to complete this. I have done all my answers, all the questions, I've attempted all of it. I'm in a safe place. I can just do all my pretty little things. So, you know what? That's why just don't spend a lot of time in one question. Rather, dedicate some amount of time, divide for each of the questions in such a way that at last you still have a lot of time with you to come back to those questions. And if I tell you a story, it's exactly what happened during my time. That for the first question, the perspective one, I started, and eventually I felt that it's not going in the right way, and I was running out of the time, which was 20 minutes according to me, for the very first question. So I just left it, moved to the next question, completed it in what, like 10-15 minutes. Then in the next question, 10-15 minutes, another question which I just told you that it was exactly the same. Didn't take me a lot of time to solve that because I had already done that during my preparation. So same cheese I did during that. And at last, I literally had 30 minutes in my hand. So I went back to my first question, erased it all, completed it again within 20 minutes, in fact. And then again, I had 10 minutes in my hand. So I just refined it, thoda bahut, added some little bit colors to it because I had time, submitted my paper, and were like so chill and calm, everything. So, that's what you want, right? You can make your answer perfect during that last minute. So don't that was one mistake that we all do, and you should avoid. Now coming to the next very very important mistake that I have seen my friends doing, not friends, but people that I've met in the exam. And after the exam, that guy actually told me, dude, I did not submit my paper. Like, what? And that guy was so good at drawing, and he had he did his bachelor's in design, and it's such a good portfolio that I saw. So, what happens exactly in the exam? Um, you have to, after part B, you have to submit the paper digitally onto the screen. Like if the time runs out and goes 0 0, it will automatically shut down, and it will take your answer as not submitted. So, just write like 2 to 5 minutes before your exam is getting over. Always like have an eye, like a side eye on the timer that is going on in the screen. And once it's like it hits like last 2 minutes or last 1 minute, go submit it. Once you submit it, the sheet, the screen will go off, like it will turn off, and it just ask you for some feedback and all. But that is important, because if it runs out of time, it won't auto submit. It will just go out of and won't submit your paper, and all the answers and everything that you have done, even part A, including part A, won't be submitted, won't be checked and anything. And no one can do anything about it because it's like a automated thing, right? So that's a biggest mistake that a lot of people do. So please, please, please beware about this and avoid this mistake as you can. Now coming to the last mistake. For this, I would like to tell you a story again. So, when I went to the exam hall, I had just a pouch which had a pen, two pencils, eraser, like cut erasers, a sharpener, and few colors. That's it. I mean, few, as when I say few, I meant just red, blue, green. Yeah, I believe, as far as I remember. Anyways, and when I went there, everyone was carrying like big, their pencil and color boxes and their art kits. everything. And I got so overwhelmed looking at them. I was like, am I missing anything? Like, did I forget anything or something? Because I just had my admit card, my uh the documents, the government documents, and my pouch. That's all. And I was like, oh shit. But that's not what all you need. Matlab, you just need that one pouch which has your pencil, eraser, sharpener, those few primary colors, just pencil colors. Don't go with um, crayons or what watercolors, especially for seed. For seed, you do not need. None of the questions in part B requires you to color. I used color just for the logo question, just to highlight, give the essence of the logo that was required. And so yeah, you can do that with the primary colors, that's it, and just with the pencil colors, not going ahead with like watercolors or crayons and anything. So like the less chaos you have on the table, the less chaotic your mind is. So that's why don't take a lot of stuff with you. Just keep it simple, minimal, and that will help you a lot in being very calm during the exam. And it's not needed. I mean, if it was needed, it would have been mentioned, but it's not at all. So you can avoid all those stuff and just take the basic stuff with you during the exam and use those. So that was all about the mistakes that we do and should be avoided at all cost. Literally, these are like literally the most important mistakes. So please keep a note of it. All right, moving ahead. A very very common thing that happens with all the designers in the world, which is how to handle a state of blank mind. Like, especially during exam, we all go like, oh shit, I'm not able to do this. Oh shit, this is not happening. I'm not able to think. I'm not able to come up with ideas or anything. This happens, right? But the one thing that you have to make sure is keep your cool. Don't go mad about it or like get overwhelmed with that state of your mind. That happens, all right? And it's very common. And how to tackle it, the very first thing, make such scenarios, such situation right in your home, right? Like practice um, in the same hours of the exam that is going to happen. For example, if it's from 9 a.m. to 12, then always, whenever you're practicing, sit during that hours only during practice, whenever you're at home, especially in this winter time, man. Like, mm, getting up in morning and people in Delhi, like, I was freezing literally in the exam, and you literally have to sketch things in that freezing winter. So that is something that you have to be acquainted with. So whenever you are practicing at home, practice with the same hours over the table, not in your blankets, onto the table, with a screen in front of you. And yeah, another thing, don't practice on paper or something. Always have a screen, because solving visual questions on paper and on screen are literally two different things. And you can literally get two different answers every time you solve on paper or on screen. So
So the Q&A has been opened. You can leave your questions in either in the chat box or in the Q&A box. Both are open for the questions now. We have started getting. Can I start with the questions?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So somebody has asked, how good do I need to be at drawing for seed exam?
Okay. So if I'll show you my drawing now, you will be like, I'm good enough because I draw like a 5-year-old kid. Trust me, I'm not kidding with that. So that, as I mentioned previously, guys, you do not have to be a perfectionist at this. You just have to communicate your ideas. Your ideas should be strong enough, and all you need to practice is some basics. And I did the same. I practiced the basics. For example, line quality, which is very important. It is one of the evaluation criteria of all the questions. So practice line quality, and you can get all those videos on YouTube for sure. You can literally get that drawing book to practice for shading, texture. So these are the basics that I'm talking about, and this is all you required: line quality, shading, hatching, and all those types. Light and shadow, perspective. Learn about 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, 3 point perspective, eagle eye view, ant eye view, all these perspectives. And lastly is material understanding for the product design question. These are the basics that are very specific to each of the question, and that's all you need. You don't have to be like a very great sketcher, because someone like me who draws like a 5-year-old kid could clear the exam and get like an AIR 90. I mean, I'm not saying like that was just like or something. I practiced. Okay, guys, I practiced. So yeah, you don't have to worry about or get overwhelmed. Just practice the basics and make sure that you are reading the questions very carefully and just putting up your ideas, very strong ideas, onto the paper. So work around your ideas rather than your sketching skills. Your cartoon characters could be as good as a good sketcher. So yeah, I hope that answers.
Yeah, coming to the pencil and shading, somebody has asked which pencil to use. They mean which shade to go for.
All right. I mean, it depends on you with what you're comfortable with. What I took was one 2B pencil for normal sketching, and 4B and 6B, 4B or 6B pencil for the last refinement of everything. So that's what I would suggest. Have one pencil which is like literally light, and then one which is a little dark. Coming to charcoal pencils, a lot of people have asked if they should take charcoal. If you're good with it, good with handling charcoal, and like you're sure that you're not going to ruin your paper with all those marks, good. But if you're not, then you should avoid that at all cost.
Coming to portfolio, should the portfolio project be hypothetical or in collaboration with a company or freelance?
Okay, so if your projects are like, for example, an internship project or a freelance project, that's completely fine. You can definitely put that up. um, if you want to mention the company, you may, but I would suggest focus more on the what problem you're solving. For example, if I did one project around AI agents and everything for some company, I just, sorry, for Microsoft Design Challenge, that's what I did. So I just mentioned somewhere at the top that it was a Microsoft Design Challenge project. That was it that I mentioned. Rest was my problem, my approach, and my solution. So you can definitely put things like this. It can be a hypothetical project as well, but just make sure that you're structuring it in such a way that you can talk on it. So problem, approach, solution. Rest, other information like this company, that group, this group, you can keep it aside somewhere. Not that important of information to be there highlighted in the portfolio.
Okay. So somebody has asked, how did you improve your creativity and idea generation skills?
Practice. Practice a lot. I practiced one question paper 10 times. I was like at that point that I'm like literally um, mugged up with all the solutions that I've done. So, you know what? Another suggestion for this thing would be use AI, guys. Use Chat GPT, use Gemini. Ask that stupid, not stupid, AI agent to generate answers for you, right? It can help you a lot in this era right now. And yeah, like if I did 10, you should do like what, 100 or something. Kidding, like whatever, do as much as you can, practice, and that's only that's going to help you out. And you can probably talk, look at other solutions, people. If you're studying in a group or something, definitely refer to other solutions that others have made. So that's all you can do for
Okay.
creativity.
So another question is how to divide time for part A numerical answer type questions.
Sorry, come again.
How to divide time for part A numerical answer type questions.
Okay. So there's not anything like for dividing a time for a particular section, which is NAT. There are three sections: NAT, MCQ, MSQ, of course. Now you have a hierarchy of solving those sections based on your strong and weak sections. For example, what I did, um, I was strong and in NAT, then MCQ, and I was very sure MSQ is my worst section ever. So I kept it for last, and I started with NAT, MCQ, and then MSQ was something I did it last. So this is the hierarchy that you have to create for yourself. If you're good with MCQ and you think, yeah, you're scoring the best in MCQ, do that first, then come to MSQ, and then come to NAT. So totally based on what are your strong points and your weak points, structure your hierarchy of the sections. Now, I wouldn't say dedicate time to each of the section, dedicate time to each of the questions. So I had a very, very strict rule: 2 minutes for each question. That's it. If I'm not able to solve a particular question in 2 minutes, I'm moving to the next and the next and the next. So that's the thing that you should do, because I guess like dedicating a timer for a single section would be a lot difficult for you to do. Rather do it just for questions. That would be a lot easier, less confusing, and better for you.
Okay. Some questions are easier to solve when we can mark on the screen. Is it possible to do that? If yes, how can we do it with multiple questions?
Mm, can you repeat, please?
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah. Some questions are easier to solve when we can mark on the screen. Is it
Mhm.
possible to do that? If yes, how can we do it with multiple questions?
I don't think so that you can mark on the screen when I'm still not able to get like what is being
Yeah.
asked. When we mark on the screen, is it possible to do that? You can't mark on screen at all. You just have paper with you, and the question on the screen. So if there are any sort of like those puzzle questions, dice questions, or anything, you have to visualize it on the paper, not on the screen. I hope I'm just articulating it right. Not sure, but if that's the right articulation that I've done, that you can't do anything on the screen. It's just the question that is there, the whole UI interface, and you have your rough sheet with you. You have to do everything on that sheet, and then just mark the answer on the screen. That's it.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. If part A is for 60 minutes, which will be as CBT format, we have to submit it 1 hour only. Then how part B submission will work on the screen?
It will so part the whole exam will have a running timer of 3 hours in minutes, and once your part A is done, which is 1 hour, it will automatically go away from the screen, and only part B will come up, and yeah, like then you will have a submit button once, like, So there's this rule, I guess, like after 45 minutes, you can submit the paper and like go out of the exam hall if you want. I'm not sure if 45 minutes is the right time that I'm pointing out right now, but there's some timer after which you can just submit your paper and like go. So that submit button will be there for you all the time. But once 60 minutes is over, you can't access part A at all, and only part B will be there on the screen. And after like those 2 hours is over, part B will also go away if you're not submitting it.
Okay. Another question is, are there any discipline-specific question the professor will be asking during the personal interview?
Uh, there can be a possibility. It's
Hmm.
totally up to the professor, their mood, their whole day, their experience, everything. But you know what? You can actually drive your interview yourself. Whatever you are bringing to the table is exactly what they're seeing, and then they'll be asking. So, structure and script your whole portfolio and yourself as well in whenever you're speaking about your introduction and when you're speaking about your project. Like your all they'll ask is first go ahead and tell you about your introduction, and then they'll ask you to present one of your best projects in your portfolio. So it's literally in your hands what you want to present to the professor, and then they're going to ask you whatever you're speaking. That's it. So I mean, I have felt that I was driving my interview in ISC Bangalore, and how I did that, I scripted my whole portfolio literally. Like I have these things in my portfolio in my project, and I was when if I'm speaking about this, these are the questions that can be asked, and I prepared answer for each of it. With that answer, these are the questions that can be asked, and these are the answer for it. And it happened exactly that way. When I'm explaining my project, they asked a question from the same script that I made during my prep time. I answered it, and then they asked the same question, same follow-up question, and then I answered. Then he asked again, which I had no answer about. Then I was like, sorry sir, I don't know. So it's always, I mean, fine to ask, but yeah, answering to your question, they can definitely ask about your discipline, and for sure. But that's literally on you. You can like bring that up during your introduction, and they can ask you. Be prepared with it. Be prepared with everything you're speaking. So yeah.
Okay. Any repeated feedback points that colleges or companies gave during the portfolio reviews?
Repeated feedback on
Portfolio, your portfolio.
my portfolio.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. I don't think so. I remember, but I don't remember the feedback because generally you don't get a feedback. I mean, they're not going to tell you that, oh wow, this was so good or some anything like that. You don't get an explicit feedback. Even implicitly, you can't get anything from their face. They might be smiling, and in their head they'll be like, oh, this is a shitty thing. So there's nothing that you can get as a feedback in any way, active or passive way, whatever. But all I remember that each and every professor from all the disciplines, they were very specifically talking about the problems that I've identified. They really liked the project, the problems that I identified of that one particular project, and they were very very excited about how did you come to this, like what was the process, and that's all that they were talking about. So that's one pattern that I've identified, and hence, as I mentioned, always highlight the problem, how you came up to the problem, and how you approached to the solution. That's all they care about, and that's all they're going to ask about.
Okay. So there is a confusion with part B. So people are asking continuously about it. What they're asking is we have to draw the answers on paper for part B, right? So how
Yes.
will the submission works? Do we have to
Oh,
click a snap of our answers
oh,
and then submit it?
all right. Sorry. Now I got it.
Mm.
So, on screen, you have your answer sheet on paper. You'll have to draw all the answers on the paper. That will be a full booklet of answer sheet that will be given, in which you'll have to write your roll number and everything, all your details. That will be one like just like an answer sheet that you get in your school exams or college exams, right? But on screen as well, you have to mark your answers done, marked, some, and then submit it. Once you submit it, that goes away, and your answer sheet that you have that's been given to you, it will be taken by the invigilator. So it's like a two-way submission that happens. You have to submit on screen as well, and your answer sheet will be taken by the invigilator. So the invigilator will anyway take your answer sheet, but if it is not submitted on the screen, it will not be recorded in the seed whole thing. Like, this roll number has not submitted the paper, so your sheet will just pass by. And that's why it's important to submit on screen as well. So you have to mark all your answers done, the five. So literally, like, as soon as my part A moved and part B appeared, I just marked all of them done, did all my answers, and at last, just hear me out very carefully. Mark all the answers, and at last, like in the last 2 minutes, submit it. Hit the submit button. Don't submit it in like 1 hour before. Like, that screen will go away. You won't have your questions in the answer sheet. It will be all blank. Your questions are just on screen. So once you're done with all your answers on the paper, then go onto the screen and submit. Hit the submit button. I hope I've made it clear.
Yeah, I guess it is clear now.
Yeah.
Somebody has asked, can you share your Part A score? Do you remember?
Oh my God. Uh, really don't remember. I cleared the cutoff. I did clear the cutoff, and during my time, the cutoff was in around 20s, 21, 22, something, and I had a score of 32 or something. So, guys, like, part A is something that you should just focus on clearing the cutoff, and the rank that you get is from part B. So, part B score also was in 50s, as I remember. I I'm not really sure. So yeah, out of 100. So yes, so it's like 25% of your party score, and then during my time it was 20, yeah, 30 and 70. Don't even remember that. Yeah, whatever. So it's 725 and 75 right now. Yeah.
Okay. So there is a hypothetical question. I feel it is hypothetical. She is asking if you are getting a job in design and giving seed exam as well. Like, you know, you will getting to going to clear the seed exam and you are getting a job as well. What would you have chosen? The exam, seed exam, like the masters or the job?
Oh my God. A
I
very
guess
great.
it is the question. Like, she has hypothetically written.
Wow. All right. See, if very first thing, if during that time I was getting a job, I probably wouldn't have gotten or moved ahead with seed, because I would have never known what seed give, or like each of these IITs give you, right? But now when I look back, if anyone would have told me that this is your experience during IIT, those 2 years, I then I wouldn't have, like, this Simran right now wouldn't have gone for a job. But at that time, because I had no idea what IIT offers you, I would have chosen a job because I was looking for a job. Like, very honestly, I wasn't getting a job, and hence I decided that I have to do masters. That was the thing that I was getting to hear from all the people that I applied wherever. I didn't want to do, because I've been doing design since like a long time during my second year of my bachelor's. So during, because it was COVID, so I was able to manage all this stuff. So I did all the startup internships and freelancing and this and that and whatnot. And after my fourth year, I just wanted to have a good high package job, right? That's kind of aim for everyone. And also in design, because design is something I wanted to do and I was good at. So, but just because I didn't have a degree, and that's a very harsh reality of this country, that if you do not have like a certificate or like a degree in a particular field, you're probably not considered a good candidate. So, hence, I decided to go for a master's. So, to answer your question, during that time, I would have gone for a job. But if I see now, I know what all things you get in IIT, and not only in IIT but any design school, man, NID, NEFT, anywhere, the people, the, you know, the projects that you do, competitions and everything. There's so much, so many opportunities, and this 2 years of time you will never forget in your life. So I wouldn't go now, but my college is over. I have got a good job, so so it's worth it.
Okay, so another question is, do we need to carry hard copy of our portfolio or just the link of portfolio website or how to showcase the portfolio for the interview?
So it's recommended to keep a hard copy of it very much, because in institutes like IIT Guwahati, there's no network, not a single line of network that you get. So always keep a hard copy with you, and also a soft copy. Like, why not? But recommended hard copy, because, and in fact, like, for keep like 2 to 3 copies with you, for like you can like literally distribute it amongst the panel. Like, this one is for you, this one's for you, this one's for you. When they have tangible things in their hand, it always feels good. So yes.
Okay. So another question is, do we not get the questions all at once in part B?
Sorry.
Like, do you get the questions for part B all at once, or you have to complete one, complete the
No, no,
other? How does
all
it?
at once. You just like part A, you will have all access to all the questions all together. Similarly, for part B, you will have access to all the 5 questions. Just mark them done, done, done. Just like one, two, whatever format is there. There is a UI interface there in Seed's website. Have a look at it. How you will get to see your questions in exam. So get acquainted with it, and yeah, you'll get the UI interface on the website. So go check out right now.
Okay. So la I guess we can like this can be the last question. As time has reached how to do approach problem identification questions. Can you tell us more about the problem identification project you did for your portfolio?
Oh my God, like this is a very, very big question. I mean, I'll try to sum it up. But problem identification question that's being asked in seed, a very, very strict rule for this is do not identify solutions. That's a common mistake that all of us do. That if they've asked for problems identified in a bus station, they draw there is no security camera, there is no um, something, whatever, a navigation, there's no this, there's no that. By saying that there is no security camera, you're giving a solution that there should be a security camera. You don't have to do that. You have to identify the problem that is happening because of the inevitability of that solution. If there's no security camera, there's a problem of theft, right? So I right like illustrate the theft that is happening, and always illustrate the person who's probably facing the problem. You can show a navigation problem, whereas person, I did that, I like literally made a girl who's like literally thinking like, where do I have to go, showing that there's a navigation problem, there's no signboards, there's nothing, right? But I'm not saying that there is no signboard, I'm showing that this girl is confused where to go. So that's how you should approach the problem identification. Always make sure that you're just writing or identifying the problem, not the solution. For my portfolio, that's literally a different thing, that I mean that needs a lot more time. So I don't know how to cover it.
No, if you can like sum up it in 2, 3 minutes, it is
All right,
okay.
cool. So for my portfolio, I mean, that's a very funny story. I was like, literally, when I'm done with, I had few projects already with me, because I had been working before in interaction design itself. So I had some projects, but I was just looking for that one project that I would want to blow the minds of the evaluators. So for that, I went to the IIT sites and just looked at the professors and the works that they have done, noted the topics down, like, okay, in this field, in that field. And I was just sitting and just thinking and key, what can be done, what can be. And suddenly I just got an idea. I was just having a conversation with my mom, like rather a fight with my mom. Okay, why are you cutting this? Why? It was about a milk pouch, and she always used to cut it from the edge, and that small, piece gets it just gets blown away. And I read somewhere, I mean, it was literally connecting the dots. So it was very small problem that I picked up, but it was so different for the professors, like, how did you come up with this? So it was about that small piece of milk pouch that mothers usually cut out, and it was literally highlighted in one of the newspapers that I read like long back. And hence I picked that project up, made a very stupid solution, like literally stupid solution, like added a what cap to that pouch. That was a very stupid solution, but none of them talked about the solution. They all knew, okay, this is very stupid, but all they talked about was the problem. So you know what, like you can get a lot of idea when you look at the websites and the projects that the professors are doing, so that will help you a lot. So you should go and check out those things and just think through those fields and ideas.
Okay. Thank you for summing up in a few minutes.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Cool,
One
thank God.
last question, I guess.
Yeah.
How long approximately must we make our portfolio? Like, how many pages do we need to dedicate for each project?
Yes, very good question. And that's a very important thing for portfolio. You can't like take a pura book, 100 pages novel to them for the evaluators. No, you have to make a crisp, short portfolio. So I don't know if that's a rule or something, but I guess it's mentioned somewhere, not able to recall it. But your one project should be summed up in not more than 4 pages. So if I do the maths, 4 into 3, which is the most number of projects that you should have, do not go beyond 3 projects. That's more than enough. So 4 3 are 12, 12 pages, one cover page, one miscellaneous page where you can just showcase things that you do apart from design. I just added some crafts, mandala arts that I do, wall arts, nail arts, all those things. I added that in one, like made a collage of the miscellaneous things. And at last, just the thank you page. So 12 to 15, like max, at max 20. That's literally the max. So these are the number of pages for each dedicate for the whole portfolio. Don't go beyond 20 or something. That will be too big. And make sure that you are getting it printed in a high quality paper, good GSM paper. Make a good cover page for it. Get it. I mean, you can get a spiral print as well. Yeah, print out as well. That's fine. But have it in a good quality. Yes.
Okay, I guess we have come to the end of today's session. So let me give a proper thank you note for our speaker Simran.
Thank
I
you.
am an aspirant myself. I am preparing for the 2026 exams,
Oh, oh,
design entrance exams. So for me also it was so helpful. Like from my perspective, I'm connecting this with the your LinkedIn. One line from your LinkedIn that caught my eye. You have written, "Design can bring change," and from the journey you just explained, I know I just deciphered only that thing. Okay, you designed your entire seed journey. So
yes.
aspirants who all are listening, I hope you also will design your journey like how she did. She did it structurally. She was, I guess, for you also, design was not just something you are trying to impose on you. It was all around you. That is why you got up with that project of the milk pouch. I know that you were observing. Like you are innately you had the power, and that designing that structure kept you. I am sure that is why you got that 90, not just of because of luck, because of the way you designed your entire journey,
Yes.
entire seed preparation. I know, and that was really helpful for me and for all the aspirants I know, because for us there are, like, now as you said, there are many AI agents who will help us, but everybody needs a structure that you have really, like, you have explained it really well in a short span of time. So thank you very much for this session, for this compact, for this lively session as well. Thank you so much. Thank you from all of us from the behalf of FOF Kozhikode. So looking forward to connecting you on other networks as well. So thank you, Simran. Thank you, Todd. And for all participants who joined, who asked questions, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Follow FOF Code. We are coming up with more sessions like this. So thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the very best, everyone. And to you too, Kartika.
Thank you.
All right. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.